Welcome to Discover Life. Please subscribe to the latest videos.
They say science helps us understand the world around us by revealing the truth behind the world's greatest mysteries. But there are some things that science still can't explain. Here are just a few. The chicken or the egg? Which came first? The very question evokes impossible riddles. Currently, two theories exist. One states that protein in the hen's ovaries allow eggs to form, which would prove that the chicken came before the egg. The other says that eggs existed as far back as the dinosaurs, so the egg must have come first and the chicken was the fruit of another egg-laying animal's genetic adaptation. It's a real head-scratcher. Black holes. We know that black holes are masses so compact that their gravitational field absorbs everything in their path. But no one can explain what happens to the objects that have the misfortune of being sucked into a black hole. Cryogenics. Some people pay a fortune to preserve their body at an extremely low temperature upon death, with the hope of being revived once a cure for whatever killed them is found. But is this really possible? We don't know yet, but some believe it's worth finding out. Acupuncture. Based on a 1,000-year-old Chinese tradition, acupuncture involves inserting needles into the body at meridians, specific points that are said to transmit energy and that Western medicine is unable to see, understand, or explain. Brother Andre's miracles. To be canonized as a saint by the Catholic Church, a person must have performed at least 2 miracles that cannot be explained by science. Alfred Besset, also known as Saint Brother Andre, has been accredited with 2 such miracles that are officially accepted by Rome. Several hundred pages of medical reports confirm that there is no medical explanation for a cancer patient's recovery after he prayed to Brother Andre, nor for the remission of a boy who had fallen into a coma and woke up after a family member prayed to the founder of St. Joseph's Oratory of Mount Royal in Montreal. The Kentucky meat shower. On March 3, 1876, flakes of what appeared to be red meat fell from the sky in Rankin, Kentucky. The phenomenon was documented by several serious publications and analyzed by scientists, who identified it as horse meat or the flesh of an infant. That didn't stop 2 men present at the scene from tasting it. The reason why the meat fell from the sky is still unknown. Sexual orientation. Are we born heterosexual, bisexual, or homosexual? Why do some people prefer men or women? Is sexual orientation genetic or influenced by the environment? Science can't quite explain it. What we do know, however, is that practices claiming to cure homosexuality do more harm than good. The mathematical genius of Jason Paget. Imagine taking a blow to the head and becoming as brilliant as Albert Einstein. That's what happened to college dropout turned math genius Jason Paget after being severely beaten. He has acquired savant syndrome, which is a rare condition that can occur after a head injury. Researchers believe that dormant abilities may have been activated by the head trauma. Animals that die in droves. Once in a while, immense numbers of animals simultaneously die without any scientific explanation. That's what happened in Arkansas in 2011 when nearly 5,000 blackbirds fell from the sky. In 2009, a variety of animals, millions of sardines, thousands of flamingos, hundreds of penguins, and nearly 60 pelicans, were found dead on the chilling coast after isolated incidents. Many pointed to climate change, which would also explain the disappearance of 30% of the world's bees in 2010. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 on March 8, 2014, a Malaysia Airlines plane flying from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing disappeared from radar without a trace, after extensive searches of the Indian Ocean. The Boeing 777's final destination is still unknown. The $28,000 grilled cheese in 2004. A grilled cheese sandwich sold for $28,000 on eBay because it supposedly bore an image of the Virgin Mary. Science tells us the reason religious icons often appear in unexpected places is that the area of the brain responsible for making sense of what we see, the frontal cortex, makes us think we're looking at a familiar figure when we see things that don't make sense. However, science can't explain the media frenzy surrounding the Virgin Mary grilled cheese Stonehenge in 2010. Thanks to technology that maps the Earth's subsurface layers, researchers discovered that Stonehenge's mysterious monoliths were just the tip of the iceberg. Henges, barrows, segmented ditches, and pits have been found under the land surrounding the impressive monument. This discovery allowed researchers to date Stonehenge to 8820 BCE, but that doesn't explain the purpose of the ancient site. Some believe it was a cemetery, while others think it was a kind of hospital. The fifth dimension. We know of the existence of 4 dimensions: length, x, height, y, depth, z, and time, t. But could others exist that our human senses are unable to perceive? Some physicists think so, and the possibility has inspired more than a few science fiction writers. Jack the Ripper, the most famous serial killer in history, remains unidentified to this day. The man who ripped apart his victims and signed his notes Jack the Ripper in 1888 in London killed between 5 and 11 victims, mostly prostitutes. The way he removed his victims' abdominal organs suggested he may have had some medical training, but nearly 100 suspects were identified without providing a clue to the man's true identity. The wow signal on August 15, 1977, astronomer Jerry Ahriman heard a powerful radio signal that lasted for over a minute, from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius. The signal, which never recurred, is still a mystery to astronomers, especially since it was heard on the same frequency that they hypothesized extraterrestrials might use to communicate. The signal's name came from the excited note Ahriman made on his report. Extraterrestrial life. Are we alone in the universe? Every now and then, NASA informs us of the presence of water light years away from Earth, proving that extraterrestrial life is theoretically possible. But are there actually life forms on other planets that we could communicate with? It's a mystery. The size of the universe. Think the universe is infinite and that estimating its size would be a fool's errand? Some researchers, like Stephen Hawking, believe that the universe has limits. By measuring cosmic microwave background, the oldest light to reach us, some estimate the size of the universe at about 45.6 billion light-years. But what's on the other side is still anyone's guess. King Arthur, is he just a legend, or did King Arthur really exist? The British ruler has been the subject of many medieval stories, poems, and legends, and nearly as many contradicting theories. Life after death. What happens to our consciousness after we die? No one really knows. It was long believed that near-death experiences were simply hallucinations or the result of a deep coma. But an increasing number of researchers are ready to acknowledge that the consciousness survives after death. The Voynich manuscript. We've managed to decode Egyptian hieroglyphs and understand 80% of the Maya writing system. But a 262-page book uncovered in 1912 in a Jesuit community near Rome is still unexplained. No one knows who wrote it, what language it's written in, or why it was created. To this day, no one has managed to decipher the secrets in its pages, and several theories exist about the manuscript, which dates back to the 15th century. Some people believe it could be a hoax. Thank you for watching the video. Happy to you online.